Good morning. So we're back. We're here.
Happy Friday.
We did not get quarantined, unfortunately.
Yeah.
So we're back in Northern Virginia. There's still a lot going on our screen right now, but we're still live.
We're still live.
So
we took a week.
Yes,
and
4 days.
Oh, okay,
we were home
4
for the
days,
weekend.
3 nights, 4 days, and we were bundled with a butler in the Caribbean. And I've decided that I need to sell more houses so I can have a butler one day.
I agree, because I don't think the husbands are going to take on that task.
No, we went down to the Dominican Republic with one of our very best friends that's in Seattle, and we took some time off, and the team held down the fort. It was beautiful, but now we are back, refreshed, and rocking and rolling to sell some properties.
And
what?
We are in a new venue, as you can see, because we wanted to bring you something a little bit different. We wanted to give you a behind the scenes as to some of the work we do, because it's not all just showing a house and writing an offer. And, well, we no longer really sit in on home inspections because they don't happen anymore. But what we do a lot for our sellers is we do all the work to help them get it prepped correctly.
Exactly.
So that's where we are right now at one of our listings that's going to be coming soon.
Next week? No. Let me think. Yes, we will be coming in a week and a half. Basically. We'll be taking photos at the end of next week and going live the week after that. This is a really great house in Fairfax. Long story short is sometimes people need to downsize, and we help them out with that. So they had the estate people come in, they had their family and friends do their thing, we introduced them to the estate folks, had our contractor come in and do the painting that needed to be done. And now, what you see in the background with the flurry of activity, although they just stopped, so I guess they're out of the truck, is we have It's All Good on site, and they are taking what's left out. And the great thing about them, we will tell you in a minute, we're going to have a quick interview when they come in, and we'll interrupt our live broadcast for a breaking story with It's All Good. But I guess the big point is that when we do list and prep properties, this is not just hand over the keys and we're ready to go. There's a lot of work that goes in getting properties ready so you can get the best return on your investment.
Yep.
That said, we got stuff happening this week. What's happening?
We do. So for all of us 90s kids, well, not kids, 90s teens, 90s college kids, or even kids today, because they are super into
watching
Friends.
it, and my kids watched an episode. I was like, oh.
I know.
So good.
So the Friends experience is coming to DC. It's going to open on March 17th. Mm-hmm. So this is kind of like, they've done this before with Seinfeld and The Office, to where they have kind of like the set. So they have like the apartment,
the couch at the cafe shop.
Exactly, and you can go in and you can kind of reenact your favorite scenes and stuff like that. So it is fun. It's fun, something to do. So it's $42, and that's happening in DC starting March 17th.
Okay.
For those hikers and nature lovers out there is a change coming to you starting March 1st. This year is going to be a trial run. So from March 1st through November, you're going to have to get tickets ahead of time to do Old Rag.
Yep.
And they're doing that because it's so popular, and they're trying to really maintain the ecosystem and everything. So they're trying to not have just a massive onslaught of people. They're trying to like just time it a little bit better. You do have to get tickets. Tickets are $1.
Oh, that's all?
That's it.
Oh, good.
Okay. So just $1. But it is kind of that initial prep that you have to do. You have to go online and you have to get a ticket to go. Right.
Okay.
So like I said, it's going to be, this year's a trial run. They're going to see how it goes and then determine based on how it goes what they're going to do in the future. So that is something very important to know, especially as we come into the spring season, because that's when a lot of people really get out and start hiking. And then for Lego fans, Springfield Town Center is getting DC area's first Lego Discovery Center. So it's expected to open in 2023. It's going to be in the Springfield Town Center, so former Springfield Mall. And this place, it's like basically a mini amusement park. So there's like a 4D cinema, there's a massive playground, there's an earthquake simulator to where you can build stuff and see how it does on an earthquake. There's a racetrack. And then, of course, there's a store.
A store to get your Legos.
Yeah.
I was hearing on the radio, too, speaking of starting to charge for things, Rehoboth and Dewey and all of that, they have extended. They used to just do the Saturday before Memorial Day through the Sunday after Labor Day, that they would have the really expensive metering, but it's $3 an hour, and they are now starting it earlier and letting it go later. So those of you doing day trips to Dewey, pay attention because your cost just went back up again.
Yes, I got a ticket one time out there.
Well, FYI. It's coming at you.
I got something there.
We had a robust week on social media. Hopefully you're checking that all out. Lynn had her debut on Cautionary Tales, or is that in a week? I'm sorry.
No,
that's
mine's
in
not
2
up
weeks.
yet.
That's in 2 weeks. I lied. That's not what's happening at all.
Ingrid had her debut.
Ingrid did have
was
her
the
debut on Cautionary Tales, which is hysterical. Next week, pay attention. Lynn doing deep into Falls Church.
Yeah, so there is, Falls Church is little. It's a little tiny city.
It really
However, it is adjacent to Tyson's and Arlington, so it's
Location's
she's
killer.
little but mighty. And there's a lot of development. So they are actually one of the big developments that they're in the process of planning. Basically, they're trying to, it's West Falls Church development.
Yep.
And they are basically trying to make this kind of like the gateway in. And they're really modeling it off of the Mosaic District as to what they want it to be. So that's going to be really interesting to see how all of that plays out.
I've got clients that have had their eye on the EYA development, where although it's not Fairfax,
EYA did Mosaic.
Right, so EYA did Mosaic, but then EYA also bought the second half of Loman's, what was formerly Loman's Plaza, which is now Graham's Plaza, not in Falls Church City, but Falls Church.
Mm-hmm.
They took down the Scan Furniture in Valleys, for those of you who have been around since the dawn of time. And now there's going to be townhouses there. So I've got folks eyeballing that to see if that's going to be home sweet home to them. But yeah, so check out the Falls Church development.
Yep.
Keep your eye on that. I think it's kind of one of the best kept secrets, frankly. It's kind of a great little place to be.
It is. It's close to everything, but not in, well, it's soon,
in the mix,
soon to
right?
be in the thick of it all, but not quite in the thick of Arlington and Tyson's right now.
Agreed.
But they're all starting to mesh together.
Yeah.
And we knew that, and we were talking about that years ago, that it's all going to just kind of
Right, and I'm going to be doing the Burrow story over in Tyson's developmental update too.
It's cute over there.
It is cute over there, and I didn't quite get it at first, but now that it's coming to fruition and it's actually being built out, it looks really good over there.
Yeah.
So we'll follow up on that later, but pay attention. Lynn's also going to do the What You Get For series.
Yeah. So this is a really cute single family home over in the Sequoia Farms neighborhood of Centerville, very sought after area. Clients were able to get in for $700,000, so we took a look at what the house is like, so you get an idea of what price point you're at, and then also broke down those numbers so you know what you'd be paying on a monthly basis.
Yeah, and if you're ever looking for a good resource to do that with, the one that we use is Brian Kamen is a lender that we work with frequently, and he's with George Mason Mortgage, and we find that their calculator tends to be the best one. So if you go to Google George Mason Mortgage calculator, and that'll pop up, and you can play with those numbers to see how much it'll cost for you to be into that property.
Yep.
Last but not least, I did the lifestyle, so I've listed several galleries in the Northern Virginia area, and it's everything from really high level professional. I mean, we're not talking Rembrandt and Van Gogh, but we are talking contemporary. Yeah, go to DC for that. But we want Northern Virginia art galleries, and it's everything from professional artists all the way down to recreational classes, etc. One of our favorite things that we did is Grace Art for our kids. It's no longer the Greater Reston Art Center, but they've been renamed since then. But take a look at that for something to do as far as art classes and art galleries to explore. That's coming up this week.
Yeah. And then this weekend we have a beautiful potential open house. Yes, I have a listing. The team has a listing. We all have a listing out in Ashburn. Beautiful property, $925,000. It's one of my favorite kind of properties where there's 4 bedrooms upstairs, and all 4 bedrooms either have their own bath or they have private entry through a Jack and Jill bath. So that's really great. It's about 3,600 square feet on the upper levels, just over 5 on 3 levels, and beautiful property. Open houses are Saturday from 12 to 2 and Sunday from 1 to 3, but pay attention to these Facebook feeds and Instagram feeds because it's a hot commodity. We've had over 23 showings yesterday, and that's when we went live, and has already got 2 offers in hand. So
may have to cancel it if they're compelling enough to the sellers to accept early. We'll see. We'll see. So what I'm going to do real quick is poke my head around the corner and see if we have who's came to visit us today.
So while we'll do that, so this listing, like we said from the beginning, we are getting this listing ready to go on the market. We are over in the Fair Lakes area. This is a single family home. Older neighborhoods. If you were to buy this home, you get to become Tracey and I's neighbors.
Come on in.
But most important, we have Adam Grassman here with us with It's All Good.
So Adam Grassman and I go back probably, 4 years now?
Yeah.
It's been about 4 years now, and his company, well, I'm going to tell you. Adam, tell us about It's All Good.
Yeah, we do junk removal, donations, typically anything in a home, office. We'll take all the items out. We'll donate everything we can, give the donation receipt to the client, and recycle 100% what's left over.
Which is pretty amazing. So one of the things, part of what we do, and one of the most painful things that we do as realtors and professionals in the real estate industry, is helping people transition and downsize. They've got a lifetime of memories and experiences wrapped up in these homes that they're selling. So it's really important that they feel good about what happens to them. In many cases, folks end up going to a smaller place, hence the name downsizing, and can't take it all with them. So one of the things that really appealed to this client was your ability to just not stick it all on the ground, get it to somebody who's going to use it. So could you just explain that process?
Yeah, I mean, a lot of times when we're removing items, it's not really the items that people are sad about getting up. It's the memories. So we want to make sure that we can pass those memories along to somebody else. So all the items that can be donated, I mean, why would you throw it away? You know, if we're trying to help the environment, we're going to try to donate everything we can. It's going to go to another home. They're going to love it. And then 10 years on the road, we'll probably come pick it up again. And if it's still donatable, we'll donate it again.
It just keeps going.
It just keeps going.
Going. So what's fun about this is that they really do pay attention. I mean, they're not going to necessarily go through the things, but if they see something that really shouldn't be tossed, like for instance, in this one, this house has a pool. So, you know, Sam, who's one of the co-owners, just rolled in from the garage and said, "Do you really want me to toss this pool coping, the tile for the pool?" I said, No, keep that. Thanks for checking it out. So they do kind of keep on top of things. And make it happen that way, but it's efficient, it's, in my opinion, affordable, and it makes you feel good because it's going to go to people who are going to use it later, which is really, really good.
Yeah.
So thank you for taking care of them, and I appreciate. He's super embarrassed because I didn't tell him this was happening, so he says he's not presentable, but he is.
Yeah.
He's in good shape here, guys. So Adam Grassman with It's All Good, folks.
Have a great day, guys.
Yeah, you can find their information on FocusOnNova.com under the resource tab. He's there front and center, and they really are a wonderful resource.
And it's not just when you're moving. I mean, we're coming into the spring, so everybody gets that itch to spring clean, you know, to get stuff out of your house. So the thing that I absolutely loved when Tracey told me that we were going to be doing the Friday Live at this listing and that Adam was going to be here is I remember having in-depth conversations with him one evening about, you know, how he's worried. Like the landfills are full. So he does everything he possibly can to really minimize how much stuff is going into the landfill. And when we're spring cleaning, you know, most people are just looking at things where it's, oh, I don't want that anymore, but it's completely fine. It was that 9 o'clock at night Target purchase that you had to have. And then 3 months later, you're like, yeah, it doesn't really work. Why did I buy it? And you want to get rid of it. Don't just throw it away. So, so that's what I absolutely love about about It's All Good is they do their best to be as environmentally friendly as possible, and they take that on if you don't want to.
Which is what gave this particular seller peace of mind, because 2/3 of the belongings that they couldn't take with them will go to somebody else that's going to be able to use them. And what's great too is that Adam works in conjunction with Easy Downsizing, which is the estate sale company. And here's the trick. Here's the trick. So when we do this, we have these resources, we're able to get you in touch with them. And once you kind of figure out what's there, an estate sale makes sense when there's enough there to actually sell and make a profit. At some point, there comes a balance where it gets out of keel. And here, there was still a lot of tchotchke type things, but not a lot of like for sale things. And you'd be surprised, furniture is not what gets the most money. Furniture, in fact, gets the least amount of money. So it just depends on what's left. So we have whole teams that work together to help you get out of your house. Easy Downsizing is a great estate sale company. It's all good. kind of finishes it all up. And then after this, we're going to end up having our carpet cleaner come in and clean the carpets, and then we have our professional cleaner come in and actually clean the place, and then we'll have it staged. So this process is happening about almost exactly a week before photos and about a week and a half before we go live. So we could go faster if we wanted to and had it lined up a little bit more, but this is what the bandwidth for our seller was.
Right. And we always work to our seller's time frame.
Exactly. So I think that's it. What's our final outro? Anything?
Our final outro is, thank God it's getting warm.
Yes. Yes.
Very excited about that. We have a lot. Let's really quickly actually talk about the market.
Yeah.
So it is nuts. It is nuts out there.
Mm-hmm.
So especially for buyers, there's a lot of talk right now about interest rates going up. What is that going to do to the market? Is this winter market going to be tougher than what the spring market is? Yes and no. I'm still on the fence as to what that's going to be, because yes, they're saying the Fed's going to be probably raising rates, and we're going to see that happen in March. And that is, if as the rates tick up, that's potentially going to get some buyers out of the market, or it's going to have them having to talk to rearrange, what their price point is with their lender. So if you are buying and you're locked in at a rate and that's coming up for that lock to go away, be checking in with your lender to find out what your current rate is and what you can get, because that will affect the amount of house that you can buy. Now, in regard to, is the spring going to be easier? We're definitely going to see more inventory. Come on. We're already prepping at least 12 places to get ready to go on the market coming up in March, springtime timeframe. Here's the other thing that people, if they are on the fence about getting in and they're like, well, if there's going to be more inventory, less competition in the spring, I'm just going to wait. Here's my note to you. Interest rates will go up. Yeah. You might not have as many buyers competing. The sales prices are not going down.
Nope.
So forecast adjustments have been made already for this year, and they're forecasting another 16% sales price increase. So seeing exactly what happened last year. So now we already had the 16% increase from last year. This additional 16 is coming on top of that. So, as soon as you can get into a place, if that is your plan for the year, you do want to be looking at doing that sooner rather than later. We don't have crystal balls, so we can't say, the fall is going to be better, or the fall, is going to slow down, because even if it does slow slightly, that's not necessarily going to be bringing the sales prices down.
Right. And I think in the end, we should still have such an anemic inventory. While the inventory is going up, it's not enough to satisfy buyer demand. So the point is, get your ducks in a row early, shop your lender, figure out who that's going to be. Highly recommend that you go with somebody that your agent is comfortable with, is used to working to, so that you really do have the best negotiating power behind you. It goes a long way to make the listing agent feel good about the confidence and security of your offer that's out there. So for more information about that, you can check out our tab at the Buyers tab on FocusOnNova.com. We've got a really nice short video that's there that kind of gets into what that's all about, and then we can dive into the nitty-gritty. Yeah. So I think that's it, folks. It's Friday. We got a busy weekend ahead of us.
Yes,
again, if you are interested in that open house or just curious to see what happens when a 4-bedroom, 3 full bathroom house upstairs goes on the market in Ashburn, stay tuned. Check out the feeds. More to come.
Yes.
Y'all have a great day. We're going to tune out now. Hit off the Facebook and have a good weekend. Hit off the Facebook.